When this video ends, you'll know exactly how to make your first sale on Amazon in the next 2 weeks. No BS, no fluff. Let's get into it. Feel free to take some notes and drop any comments you guys have down below. I'm going to show you exactly what I've used to sell over $6 million on Amazon myself, starting with the best research plan to get your first product listed. So step one, the obvious one, hopefully, sign up for an Amazon seller account. If you're watching this, I hope you already did that, but if not, go ahead and take care of that. It can take a few days to get approved for your Amazon account. And then you'll also need a product research tool. The best one on the market for what we're going to be doing is called SellerAmp. You can get a 2-week free trial down below if you want to follow along. I think that's a good idea. It costs about 20 bucks a month, and it's how you'll source all your profitable products. And using this tool, we're going to go ahead and jump into an Amazon listing. I've pulled up this listing as an example. If you're curious on how this business model works, how to start sourcing products, all that kind of stuff, the best way to learn basically everything is going to any listing on Amazon that has a large amount of third-party sellers on it. By large, I would say anywhere 10 plus third-party sellers. That's a really good sign that that product is successfully being sold by other third-party sellers like you and I. That's just people selling stuff out of their basement, a storage unit, a little warehouse they got, whatever that is. All of the people on these listings, when there's several Amazon sellers, are doing the exact same thing as you and I. And the best part about this Amazon launch strategy is that we don't need to buy any ads, do any marketing. We can simply sell products like this that already have existing demand on Amazon, existing customers, and very much existing profit. So what we want to look for is these brand name products that are already selling, and the name of the game for us is to make sure we can buy them for a price that is profitable, right? I like selling things that already sell on Amazon. I've done about $6 million doing this, like I said. So don't limit yourself thinking that you have to do Amazon one specific way to hit some awesome goals. You can make a ton of money selling things that are already successful. So let's go ahead and look at this person's storefront right here. Looking at other Amazon seller storefronts is number one, the easiest way to learn what is going to be successful for you, right? Other people are doing it on Amazon. Why can't you? To me, it's one of those things like driving a car, other people doing it. There's people a lot dumber than you and I doing it. So there's no reason that we can't do this as well. But keep in mind, it's totally normal for finding your first profitable product to take some effort, get a little frustrated. I actually gave up my first time trying to resell products on Amazon. So I want to show you what I learned that helped me not give up so that you're hopefully able to make money a lot faster than I did. Because what we want to look for as we're looking at the items that other people are already having success with is anything that we can buy for the max cost option, which is basically going to be the lowest price that we can buy this item for it to be profitable for us. Typically, we're going to try to buy things for about half of what we want to sell it for on Amazon. And for this video, I want you to keep in mind, I'm only going to be sourcing things that new Amazon sellers can get approved to sell. So don't let that be a limitation. I'm going to use a little bit of my own knowledge on that, but if you don't know how to figure out what you're already approved to sell, you can go ahead and start diving into Amazon Seller. Once you're in Seller Central, up in the top left here, you'll see add products. I'm going to show you what it looks like when I punch in and1, for example. I noticed that was one of the brands in this person's storefront. This is a good exercise, especially if you're newer to selling on Amazon, to figure out what you're already allowed to sell and what you will need approval to sell. So in this case, I selected new, I select sell this product, and now it's going to go ahead and let me sell this item. On the flip side, if you go ahead and plug an item in here and it says apply to sell, keep in mind, you'll just need an invoice to get approved to sell that brand, which you can get from any major retail store. And that's where we're going to be sourcing all of this inventory from as well, right? So now that we've just established, you know how to check and make sure we can sell certain brands. We know we can sell the and1 brand. This is an auto ungated brand for basically any new Amazon seller, by the way. So definitely look into that. It's a good kind of starting point. And if you're curious on like how to source based on this, you'll just look at the other sellers on this listing as well, right? So just giving you a different starting point if you want somewhere different. You start your Amazon launch process, and let's go ahead and Google this item because we need to be able to figure out if we can buy this for this max cost option, which again, if we can get it for this or less, we're going to be making some profit. So if we can get this for 13 bucks, we will be making money. Let's see what it shows up on Google here. Seems like it's maybe a $17 item. So I'm not sure we're going to have too much success with this. We can definitely go ahead and check here and make sure. I'm also curious and see. So we've got like lots of different colors and sizes and all that kind of stuff on here. This particular one though, we are buying for 17, selling it for 29 right now. Hopefully you're not really in business to lose 40 cents per sale. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving on. And the big name of the game with sourcing Amazon products is looking at as many different items as possible, understanding what costs are reasonable, what costs are not. And as you go, and basically every minute you spend looking for more products, it gets easier to find that first one that is profitable. Let's actually keep looking. Let's see if there's any more. I see a lot of these underwear, and that's honestly the nice part. Once you have looked at one profitable item, you can usually look at several others. So in this example, we know all of these are $17 as our source cost, and all of the max cost is below $17. This is the closest one to profitable. It does seem like this one is close to profitable. It's 36 bucks, but we still need it for a little bit cheaper. So don't think there's any money to be made on this brand today. The name of the game when it comes to sourcing is looking for brands that are on sale that the day you happen to look at them, right? And as you source source more and more products, you can start to learn when brands run sales. And you can also just write that down and just check every so often when you see sales on brands that you like to source come around, right? But first we need to figure out what brands we even like to source in the first place. Let's see, we got like Jellycat here. I think it's like a plush brand. Let's see. So Googling this one here, we need to buy it for about 20 bucks. This is selling for, let's see, is this the medium version that we're looking at? Yeah, medium. Selling for 38. Okay, interesting. Oh, it seems like one seller is way cheaper than everybody else. Interesting. So what we could do is we could monitor this listing over time, see if that price goes back up. I do see it was like a $60 item in the past. Right now it is selling for 39, which is why that max cost, again, that kind of mental math I like to do. If I can buy something for half of what it's selling for on Amazon, I'm almost definitely going to make some profit. Let's go ahead and Google this one right here. This one is showing up at 23 bucks. I think these are different though. You see this guy, this one's like a wedding theme type of thing. That one does not have it. So let's keep on checking for the other ones here. See like a medium right here. So again, when you look at one item, a lot of times you know the cost of the other items that are similar to it. So we saw that the medium stuffed animals of this brand are 38 bucks. Let's see if that pattern holds true on this one as well, or if we can even get it in the first place. Let's see. So medium's out of stock, but it is $33 actually. Okay, so good to know. Now we know on this particular brand, we do need to look at all the different versions. And one thing we can do here is just plug in your email. Let's say my email, right? I can be notified when this item is back in stock, and then I can come buy it. And this would be a profitable find, but right now it's not in stock. So let's keep on moving. We got this one right here. Some of these are interesting though, just because we're finding a lot of stuff that is pretty close to profitable. Let's see. So if we buy that for 18, we need to buy that for 16. So I don't think that's a hit for us. Let's see. This could be a hit though. I'm seeing this like bouquet of flowers. We need to buy it for 56. It's selling 100 times a month, and we can get it from this website here for 55 bucks. So this is probably going to be our first profitable find of the day. So 55 bucks, currently selling for 98.71 on the listing. So yeah, this is a nice profitable find here, selling it for about a $20 profit. I do think there were extra places to source this as well. We can definitely check out. So this one is, that one's 56 there. This one's showing up at Walmart, but I bet it's from a third-party seller. Yeah, so quick PSA, if you see items sold by a third-party seller on any marketplace, whether that's Walmart, eBay, Amazon, so on, those are not typically really trusted suppliers. Make sure you're buying legitimate inventory from legitimate websites. Stuff like this, where it's a legit established retail store, which by the way, if you're worried about the ungating process, let's say you're not allowed to sell this brand, when you buy this, you would just submit that to Amazon through the ungating process over here that we talked about a little bit. Let's see, so that's a profitable find. We like to see that. Let's see, here's like a little avocado or something. I see a bunch of these as well at different websites for 33 bucks. Let's see, are they in stock? So the Jellycat website is out of stock here, but I do see like several different websites here has them for 33. So yeah, I would say those would be a good find as well. Buying for 33, that would be a profitable item as well. So a couple good finds in this brand already. You like to see that. So here's like a stuffed cat. That one's out of stock. So this one's definitely like a very in-demand brand. And especially right now that I'm filming this kind of right before the holiday season, it makes total sense that some of this would be starting to go out of stock, that kind of thing. This seems like the definition of an item that you'd give as a Christmas gift. So definitely be a brand that you'd want to zero in further on. In this case, we're already able to find a couple profitable items just looking through one brand that one seller has already successfully done. And all you need to do is basically look at the homework of these sellers here. So that sourcing process is pretty much infinitely repeatable. It doesn't stop there though. Obviously finding an item doesn't mean you're already making the sales. So that's where we need to jump back in and actually make the sale on this inventory. And that's where the other tool that you're going to need as an Amazon seller comes in. This is Boxem. And this is basically how you'll track how much money you're making, how many items you have at Amazon. And it's also how, in this case, we're going to go ahead and start listing products on Amazon. So in order for us to sell anything on Amazon, we need to obviously list the product on Amazon. The nice part is we can basically just attach ourselves to the listings that already exist. We don't need to take pictures or buy ads, or if you've sold on other marketplaces where you have to deal with that, we don't have to do that on Amazon. All we have to do is list and ship the items via Amazon standards. So what I want to do, I'll just quickly show you. Let's say we want to list this product that we sourced together. I'm going to go ahead and grab the ASIN. This is basically like Amazon's unique identifier here. We can go ahead and take that ASIN, go back over to inventory on Boxem, and I'll show you just how to create the listing to begin with. Punch in the ASIN, add the SKU in right there. We can also store how much quantity we have. We can store what we actually paid for it. So these were like 33 bucks online. We can set things like the shipping template on this product. There's a little bit of extra detail that goes in on setting like shipping templates and that kind of thing. I do have a full guide on FBM shipping, on actually getting these products shipped out to customers. If you want to see how the more complicated like shipping templates and that kind of things work, go ahead and set migrated there. And then just for the example, let's say we bought this directly from the website here. It's called Jellycat. Go ahead and add that listing, and that's going to go ahead and create this product for us. So now all we need to do is go ahead and submit this listing to Amazon. So we'll go ahead and press submit. This is going going to spin here for a second. It says 15 to 20 minutes to communicate this information with Amazon. And then in this case, we would immediately start seeing sales on this listing as an FBM offer. The alternative to Amazon FBM is doing Amazon FBA. So what that's going to look like is when you go onto Boxem and create the shipment right here, when we create an Amazon FBA shipment, instead of listing it on Amazon, waiting for the customer to buy it and shipping it out to the customer, we're going to ship everything off all at once to Amazon. And then when a customer goes onto Amazon, they're going to buy it. Amazon's going to ship it out to the customer for us. And that comes with some extra benefits like prime shipping. Typically, you're also going to make more sales as an FBA offer, and it's just generally a little bit more scalable. But the major downside is that you have to wait for the items to get to Amazon, check in, and go through the whole receiving process before those sales will typically start happening. For that full process of shipping products off to Amazon, essentially what you're going to do is use Boxem to make it really simple to print out your FN SKU labels. These are going to go directly on the products that you're sending off to Amazon. And then after you're done labeling those items, telling Amazon how heavy the shipment is, what's in each box, then Boxem is going to provide you with an FBA box label and a UPS box label. This will be obviously how you drop it off at UPS. They'll take it to Amazon for you. And then when it gets to Amazon, they're going to scan this top label and you're going to start seeing those products check in and start making sales in your Amazon account. Keep in mind, as long as you're shipping products into Amazon that SellerAmp shows you already sell well, you're not going to need to buy ads, do any marketing. Those are just automatically going to start selling for you. As long as your price generally matches the existing price that is making sales on the listing, you'll see some sales for yourself as well. But now you know all the basics of how to get your first products listed on Amazon. So take action on that. Go source a profitable product right now. If you're ready to dive in, make sure you grab 2-week free trials of SellerAmp and Boxem. Those are the softwares that you'll need to dive in and be an efficient Amazon seller. Let me know if you have any questions, comments down below. Happy to answer those for you. And if you're not super confident on how to source those products yet, you want to dive in for another 15 to 20 minutes, watch me source some products with you live, go ahead and click this video right here.